welcome to Risa Creates. Since tomorrow is Father's Day, I've decided to host a luncheon for my father and some family friends where I will be cooking chicken enchiladas as the main entree and for dessert, a strawberry cheesecake. Now the recipe is not my own. I acquired it from barberbakes.com, which I will also link below. This recipe, I've used it on several occasions and it is the best one that I've used up to date. Now the difference is the recipe asks for Oreo cookies for the crust, but I will be using graham crackers instead. I did it once with the Oreos, but it was just too sweet, and I just prefer the graham crackers to get that real authentic cheesecake taste. Well, please stay tuned so we can get started. So the first thing you're gonna need is a springform pan. You can use another pan for the cheesecake, but I prefer the springform. This one's 9 inches. The good thing is that once the cheesecake is done, you can just release the sides and you can serve it on the bottom dish, or you can move it to another serving dish if you like. You're gonna need 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs. The recipe calls for Oreo cookies, but again, I prefer the graham cracker crumbs. It gives it a better taste. The Oreo cookies for me were just too sweet. You're going to want to use 1/4 cup of butter, and please make sure it's melted, not the graham crackers won't stick together, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. For the cheesecake, you're going to need 4 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. You want to make sure you bring it to room temperature because it's very hard to mix cold cream cheese. I've used store brands before, and I've also used Philadelphia, and for me, the Philadelphia brand gives it a better consistency and it seems to smooth out much better. But then again, you can use whatever brand you like. This is just my preference. You're going to use 4 large eggs, 2 egg yolks, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of sour cream, and 1 2/3 cups of sugar. For the toppings, you're going to need 1 pint of strawberries. Make sure they're not too big in size. I've made the mistake of purchasing them too big and it just overpowered the whole look of the cheesecake. 1 cup of strawberries frozen that are thawing, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of water, and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch for the glaze. I've set my oven to 325 degrees, and on the stovetop I have a pot of water boiling. That's going to be for the water bath. You're going to also need a roasting pan. This is the one I have. It's not that deep, but it'll do. The cheesecake pan has enough room for it. What you're going to do once you're ready to bake, you're going to place the roasting pan in the oven. You're going to place the cheesecake pan inside of it, and you're going to fill up to halfway of the cheesecake pan with the boiling water. So in my pan, I have the 1/4 cup of butter melting. And once all the butter is melted, I'm going to be adding the graham crackers. And I'm going to add the 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs to it. Put it all in there. And you're just going to mix and mix until all of the butter incorporates with the crumbs. Okay, so now we're placing the graham cracker crumbs and butter mixture into the pan. Now, originally I had called for 1/4 cup of butter, and that wasn't enough. I forgot to take into account that the graham crackers are very dry. So that wasn't enough butter to give me the consistency that I needed. So if you see that it's not enough, just go back and incorporate more butter into your mixture. Okay, so in a large bowl, you want to combine the cream cheese. So here are all my cream cheese. The sugar. The flour. And salt until smooth. Just grab the spatula to try to get as much as I could out of the mixer here. One thing I did forget to mention when reading off the ingredient list, I'm sorry guys, was the vanilla. You're gonna need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, but I haven't incorporated it yet. That gets added after the eggs. And then you want to start incorporating the eggs one by one. So I'm gonna grab the eggs, put my mix on low. Start mixing. Got to get the spatula out of there. Now you're gonna add the vanilla. I'm using vanilla bean paste. This is the brand. You can use pure vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste, whichever you prefer. Then I'm going to add the sour cream. All of that in there. And mix. As you can see, I've lined my pan with aluminum foil, and now I'm ready to pour the cheesecake mixture inside. Make sure you get it all. And smooth it out. Now that you have the mixture in your pan, it's ready to go into the oven. I've placed in the middle rack of the oven the roasting pan, and I'm going to place the cheesecake pan in there, and after that I am going to pour the boiling water. Make sure the water doesn't exceed half of the pan, and you can go ahead and put it to bake for an hour. Okay, now that we have the cheesecake in the oven and it's baking, we're gonna go ahead and make the strawberry glaze. In my blender, I have the cup of strawberries, and if you don't have one of these blenders, if you have a regular blender or an immersion blender, anything will work as long as you puree the strawberries. It's a bit noisy. Love this blender. So you want to grab your blended strawberries, and in a strainer you want to just make sure you get all the seeds out, anything that did not blend. I think actually a chunk of strawberry just fell in there. And you want to put it into a pot. So I turned the stovetop on, and now I'm going to be adding the 3 tablespoons of water. and the sugar and cornstarch mixture. And we're just gonna let that boil. Once everything is boiled together, you're gonna see that the consistency will start to get thicker and it'll look like a glaze. So as you can see, the consistency is much thicker than it was before. Once everything has mixed together, you're gonna turn off the heat and let it cool. So I've taken the cheesecake out of the refrigerator. As you can see, I've already removed the sides of the pan. It has this little lever here that you just open and the sides expand and you just slide it off. As you can tell, the cheesecake has flattened a bit more from last night. The graham cracker crust looks very nice and even, and it smelled so good coming out of the oven last night. I just hope that it tastes as good as it smells. I've already cut my strawberries. I've taken off the stem up top, and the glaze, I put it in this little baggie just so that it would be easier to pour on top. I'm going to step aside and assemble, and I'll be right back. And here is the finished product. All the strawberries are assembled. The glaze is atop. Camera isn't the best, so it's not showing the best quality, but it really looks really nice. One thing I forgot to mention is if after you take out your glaze out of the refrigerator and it's still too stiff, put some lemon juice and that'll help cut it down to where you'll be able to manage to pour it on top. That's what I did. Mine was a little bit too stiff, I guess from the cold of the refrigerator. I put a little bit of lemon juice and it was able to I was able to use it as the glaze. It's fun doing this, and I hope all those that watched enjoy. If you have any comments or how I can improve, please rate or comment or subscribe. Thank you so much, guys.